the journey and how we don't really know how to find out what it is and that takes place in our lives. We just experience it. So I'm on the precipice of something. I'm almost out of a job that I've hated for 2 years, but it allowed me to develop. But you try to find positive inclination and silver linings in the experience if you were depressed, if you did have a difficult time with it. And that is the silver lining, that it allowed me to develop into some sort of man. But it's reflective of choices and what ones we are actually given when we are. Like, I don't have a kid, I don't have a wife, I don't have a girlfriend. I have some family in London, but other than that, my choices are dependent on me and how I fail. And if I'm to succeed, I need to rely on my own volition and own motivation, which is the allowance for me to potentially exploit this time and lack of responsibility to actually find what I would enjoy or know something that would serve others that makes sense, at least, you know. So I'm in between this job and in between quitting and in between either going back or going forward to something else. And this is where you're tested proper because, like, I had the opportunity to go away abroad to Ireland, just across the pond, and it didn't feel like the right time. So I have responsibilities here to some extent to just make things neater. And there's another time for that, even though I've been waiting a long time. I think I feel it's not appropriate, and that could be the mistake, but I don't think so. So you could go on a hero's journey. I could go right back into the hell, and I could try and find more manhood out of it, or more ruin, but something, probably money, when it's hard to find now. Unless you relent and give in to actually producing and creating and actually helping people, which is part of why I've sporadically uploaded here. But so there's this hero journey where you either go back into the hell, into the eye of the storm, or you stake everything on your will to survive and be able to pay rent some other way. Then the option for me was you were taking a fireman's position on call, which is off the table in an area because the incentive is less than it was a year ago and they're not hiring, or somewhere in the middle of nowhere that in an address that I've claimed to have had to get the job in the first place if it is offered me. And that doorway could open up, but I have no fallback, nothing to rely upon. So it's in the midst of either creating something for myself, going back into the storm to try and find a way to survive it, or avoiding the eye and going into a blaze of fury somewhere else. Either way, I'm trying to change the mindset that I have. But overall, I'm just me, and it's interesting. What's come to me recently is the need, in an absolute sense, to really be sober, never drink, never take mushrooms, never take LSD, rarely ever smoke weed, not that I do, to actually use this because this created this, or at least invites it, and consciously relays it back to me in a feedback loop of me. But that doesn't matter, you know. I've used this hell job to try and correct myself as much as possible. I've tried to correct my back, correct my ill health, but health was always the most important thing to me because it substantiates my line, my placehold in this world, and I don't want to risk it for my kids, but I always did never treat myself very well and took myself for granted and experimented and did things like recklessly. So I feel like I can use that to make of some use, you know. Overall, I'm just asking for direction, and I don't have the answers, and I know I don't. And maybe you're in this place too. Maybe you're in the dysphoria of having worked 10 hours and half of it was doing nothing. Maybe half of it was maybe just busy work. Maybe the majority of it, and you don't know why you're there. And you're in this daze and you're in this soul sucking thing. And you don't have the energy to think, why am I in this hell? And how do I get myself out of it? And I'm in the midst of something new. I've almost escaped the hell, but it's calling me back. And I'm open to going there if it's God's wish, but I don't think it is. I think it needs accepting as a possibility, but that acceptance also allows me to draw away from it, and that's very important to me. But my standards are with me and not with the position I'm in. Obviously, the ability to be in proximity to something like that and move away from it is mobility that allows you to be a man and choose your destiny. Because where you are determines your life. The woman you're with determines your life and your children's lives. The place determines your life and your creativity and what you can do. It simply isn't creative enough. And no matter how creative I am, I can't really get a vestige of peace out of the creative process of that. And the alternatives don't speak to me. So I have to make my own way somehow. And I'm becoming something else. And it makes sense more to me. And it's of great importance, and it's becoming a man proper. And it's like you have all your chips at the table and you have your cards ready and you don't know what you're going to do, but you feel it out as it goes. But maybe I need to manipulate this existence far more than I ever have in the past. But maybe I need to think this and use this. Maybe I don't need to manipulate anything. I just heard a word that a man sold his land because he needed money. And the man that moved in had diamonds buried underneath the ground where he bought the land and where the man sold it. And I feel as if you can manipulate. You can actually change everything right now. Because why couldn't you? So just keep your wits about you. Avoid people's games and make your own. And play it to a high standard. Because if you don't follow the law, then you have to follow your own. and make the rules as you go. Yeah. So I'm at a tumultuous stage in my life, but it's easy to find peace in that as opposed to the haze of everyday life of the people that live and work. But I'm a doer and I will do. And hard work seems to find me. But I have to be clever, seek humility, and not let the stress inundate me until it has to get something done. Because that's when it's actually abuse. And that's when it was meant to be used. And it wasn't meant to be constant forever. But we'll see. I'm not here to complain about life, how it should be, like I did maybe even 2 years ago, a year ago, a day ago. I'm here to say that I'm open to the possibilities and I'm ready to create some of my own. And we're certainly alive now. And they took that feeling away from us, but they didn't succeed. You have it, and it is here. And you're living now. The journey. Don't take it too seriously, like me, because there's not much to take seriously. Even if you're about to die, it's not too serious. But even if you're just living, it's not too serious. So have a good day. I'll see you.